and I kind of missed last week, and I'm sorry. I completely forgot. I was at my grandparents' house, and I don't actually know what was going on that entire week. Like, nothing. I have no idea. So, then I missed this Monday, and that's also because I forgot. Because these past couple of days have been screwy. Like, yeah. I just suck, okay? I have an awful memory, and you all know that. I'm sorry. I really am. So I'm going to do this and post it and get it up before Bear does her video. Because that totally counts, right? Anyways, so last week was spring break, and as I said, I was at my grandparents' house the entire week. And we were running around with all the other children, my cousins and stuff. My uncle came down, and we all went to Easter dinner together. It was actually lunch. I don't know what the difference is, but like, hey, it was a buffet, and I got to eat for free. So I was okay with that. I ate a sickening amount of food that day, and I hate myself for it, but hey, that's all right. Let's see. And then I got back, and I got a bike last week. So I now have a mode of transportation, and it's sitting right outside right now. So there it is. It's green. I've only ridden it like twice because I went to the grocery store with it, and I bought too much food, and it all didn't quite fit in the bags that I had for it, but I made it all fit anyways, so it just squished my Eggo box, but I love Eggos. I really do. Okay, so, yeah, then I took it to school on Monday, and yesterday was Tuesday, and I didn't sleep very well, and so I didn't actually fall asleep until like, I don't know, some ridiculous time in the morning. And then I woke back up at like 8 in the morning because the sun was shining in my room, and it was really hot and gross in my room because I don't know why, but it always seems really warm in our apartment. I think my roommate keeps turning off our air conditioning every time she notices it's on or something. I don't know. She doesn't have her fans on, and my fan is constantly on in my room, which is the room behind me right now, so I'm sitting in the living room. So it gets hot and disgusting in my room, especially like after the sun's been up for a couple of hours, because it shines directly in my room. Like, I can see the sun rise outside my window. So yeah, I woke up, and then I didn't go back to sleep yesterday until like 11, and I slept for 2 hours. I got up at 1, fed myself. Then I had to take care of my energy bill, electricity, which I still haven't taken care of because my roommate was actually going to pay it because I paid the internet one, and that had a bunch of extra fees on it. So it was like extra amount. It was like $133 or something. And she was going to pay the electricity bill and then just pay me back the other, whatever was left off of that half. And she couldn't get into the account online to do that, and I finally set that up yesterday because she was a genius and actually threw our paper bill out because it was sitting in the stack of papers that were sitting on our table, which is kind of our dining room table, but it's not really a dining room table at all. And it was just sitting there, and she just threw all of the papers away. So I managed to go ahead and get that all set up. So I haven't seen her since I did that, though. Like, I didn't see her yesterday, because by the time I got up, she was gone for class. And then I went out to the mall last night, and I left at like 5:30. It took me an hour to walk there. It took me an hour to walk to the mall. I was going to ride my bike, but I figured that I didn't actually know the area, so I didn't want to ride my bike over there. And yeah, it was actually an hour and 15 minutes. Got there, had to go pay my Macy's bill. I did that, and someone in this mall is conspiring against me because the mall is set up so that where I walked in at Dillard's, I had to walk through the entire mall, basically, to find an actual directory. And I actually found the Macy's before I found the directory, so it was kind of pointless. And Macy's is directly across the hall from GameStop. And I've been going to the GameStop over on the other side by Target, which is also like an hour from my house. And I've been going there, and they have both Tales of Graces and Tales of the Abyss for 3DS. And I'm like, I don't have either system. I don't have a PS3, and I don't have a 3DS. So buying either game seemed kind of pointless. Until I figured out that our community house has a PS3. So I was like, hey, I could totally get it and like play it. And then that meant that I actually had to spend the money to do that. And I was like, I really shouldn't spend $60 on a game that I'm not sure if I should. Yeah, I wasn't really sure about spending the money on this. I know it's supposed to be really good because everyone that I've talked to who actually isn't a Tales fan, they're like raving about how great it is, and I'm like dying inside because I want to play it. And so I went in, I forced myself to go to the Macy's, and I paid my bill, and I walked out, and I was like, you know what, I'm just going to go in and check out and see what they've got, because I figured that they wouldn't have Tales of the Abyss, because, you know, it's in a mall, and I was like, oh, if they have any, like, they'll probably all be gone. Somebody bought them or something. So I walked in, and in the back they had Tales of Graces, of course, because that game just recently came out. And I was like, oh, look, there's the PS3 games. And I started walking through the Nintendo games, and I was like, oh, look, 3DS. And then, like, there at the bottom shelf is a copy of Tales of the Abyss for 3DS. And I was like... So I just finished my circle around the mall, around the store, and I just got out of there as fast as I could. And then I called my sister later, and she's like, Bria, you have time right now, though. If you want to play this game, you should get it now and play it. And I'm like, oh my god, you're right, because if I wait, I certainly won't have any time to play it. So I went back and I bought it. And then I had to walk all the way back home. And I didn't leave the mall until like 9:15. So it takes me an hour and 15 minutes to walk back home. And I'm already in pain for being on my feet since like 5:30. So I was walking and standing for like 4 hours. Yeah. So I walked home and I was okay. I could feel like I have problems with my joints apparently or something. I'm going to be such an angry old lady. I won't be able to walk anywhere when I'm really old. I know it. And I'm just going to hate the world. I'm going to be the bitterest old lady you ever met. So I'm on my way home and I can feel my knees starting to hurt and like ache, which is what they do when I'm on them for too long. It's usually my knees or my ankles, one of the two or both. But yesterday, my hip started hurting a little. And I was like, what the hell is this? So I get back to the apartment and I'm like, okay, and my feet like hurt like hell, but I don't care. I'm dancing around. I'm like, I practically walk down those streets, the busy streets, singing Disney songs and dancing by myself in the dark. I was like, oh god. I really don't know if that's a good idea or not, but hey, I did it. So, I was on my way home, and I got home dancing around my apartment because my roommate wasn't back at like 11 o'clock at night. I'm like, where is my roommate? And I have no idea where she is because she's not here right now and she doesn't have class today, so she must be hanging out with her other film friends that she's been hanging out with all week. 2 weeks because she was with them all last week. I don't know. So, all of a sudden last night I started hurting. Like my hip started hurting. And I was like, okay, well that just means I should go to sleep. And it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, and I still hadn't taken a shower, and I needed one. So I was like, okay, well, I'll just get up like half an hour early and take a shower before I go to class. And I got up, I woke up, and I could feel the intense pain in my hip. And I was like, no. It must be just how I'm laying on it. So I put my feet down and I'm getting out of bed, and there's actually a space on my bed. Like when I'm sitting on my bed, there's actually space between my feet and the floor. So I just kind of like slid off my bed onto my feet, which was really fucking stupid because I fell back on my bed because I hit it the wrong way, or I hit it, I guess, at all, and it hurt like hell. And I had to sit there for a few minutes before I could actually get up and walk to the bathroom and take a shower and pray that the hot water on it would make me feel better. And it did, a little bit. I still had to take an Advil before I could go to class, and I refused to ride my bike because if I suddenly got like intense pain on my bike, I would probably fall over, and that would suck. So I walked, and I left late, but I got there on time, like exactly on time. So, but like I said, there's like 12 kids in my class, so my teacher was kind of just waiting around anyways. So, yeah, the drugs have worn off. And I refuse to take my jeans off right now because they're providing like extra support. And it hurts like hell. A lot. So I'm considering taking more drugs, but since I'm not really planning on going anywhere, I'm not going to. So yeah, this is 13 minutes now, and that's just been basically yesterday that I've talked about. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. That's my life right now. I'm so excited to be playing Tales of Graces. I'm going to get up early tomorrow, and I'm going to take drugs if I have to, and I'm going to go down to the community house, and I'm going to start playing. Oh, I should do my homework before I do that, though. So, yeah. I really wish I could have bought Tales of the Abyss, too. But that would have been $100 right out of GameStop. And I have no immediate way of playing it right now, so, like, I'll just cry and not take it right now. I'll get it later. Alright, so I'm going to make an extra video later in just a few minutes for my MBTI personality, and I'll talk about the disc, too. I need to go get a piece of paper so that I can write on and describe it visually, because I can't do just words. I have to see things. So, alright, this has been long enough. Alright, see you guys in a few minutes. Bear, I'm sorry for posting on your day, but I refuse to skip another week, so yeah. See y'all in a few minutes.